this is crazy. I'm gonna have to put Lyft on the screen because for some weird reason I just kept saying Uber. It wasn't Uber. It wasn't Uber. It was Lyft. I just want to make sure I make this clear. I have not had any issues with Uber at all since I've been using them. This was Lyft, okay?
Sometimes it's overdue. Let the pumping stop. Party mash up again. Hey, tell them bubbling.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Crystal and I am back with another video. So I wanted to do a little bit of a change of scenery today and finally bring you guys the scary Uber story time. I know I did like a poll on Instagram asking you guys what video you wanted to see next, and everybody voted for the story time. So your girl's bringing the story time. But it's been really hard trying to like film certain things because your girl has been like super busy. So I'm outside, so I figured let's do it now. I have some time. Let's sit in the car and get it done. So definitely, if you're not following your girl on social media, then hello, go follow your girl. It's Chrisyslane, because I do a lot of different things on there. You'll be able to be part of the polls and all of those extra things that your girl does on there, and you get like a sneak peek into what I will be doing next on YouTube. So definitely follow me there. Right, so we're gonna get right in. Excuse the noise, cars are passing by. This is the only reason why I thought this maybe wasn't a good idea, but I think for the most part, the car is going to mask all the sound outside. Your girl has another story time. Literally, these things happen. After every time I do a story time for you guys, then something else happens that allows me to have to do another story time.
Another one.
So, but yeah, so this Uber encounter. So, I'm going to try to start from the beginning. Bear with me while I kind of go back and think about everything. I went to a boat ride with my mother-in-law, her friend. They do this boat ride constantly all the time. So we went on a boat ride. So many things happened on that boat ride. This was my first time being on a boat in like years and years and years. Like probably not since your girl was a kid. So the boat ride itself was good. It was decent. So the night basically started out crazy already. So one, I kept getting hit on left and right, which was super fucking annoying. If you guys don't know, if you're new, I am married happily. I have been for a long time, and for me it's like super annoying when I get hit. Sometimes us girls, we just want to have a good time. We don't want to be fucking bothered, and we don't want to be harassed when we go out, especially when we're nice about it and we let you know, and you just can't take no for an answer. It's annoying, okay? It's annoying. You guys need to learn to just how to accept no, you know, when a girl says no. So anyway, it started out with that. Either way, you know, I was still having a good time. That's not going to stop me from having a good time. But we were on the lower deck. So I didn't really know you could go to the top deck. So one of my mother-in-law's friends came. She's like, oh, let's go to the top deck. That was the best decision we made the entire night. The top deck was amazing. Like, forget about anything else that was happening. Forget about being on the inside of the boat because they had all these tables, all of that. The outside was like, that was the place to be. So you could literally see like the scenery, the view, everything like that. So we went up there, literally sat down. We were probably there like 15 minutes. I will say, before I get to the point I'm about to make, like 80% of the people on that boat were like in their 40s and 50s, and 90% of them were drunk. Like, it was just super ridiculous. Like, okay, it's good to have a good time and all of that, but when it's just like sloppy drunk, like, come on, like, get it together. And on top of that, I'm just like, it seemed like there was a birthday celebration going on. It was a big group, maybe like about 40 people celebrating somebody's birthday. And I get it, because, you know, birthdays are an amazing thing to celebrate. But there were just so many guys on there that were drunk, like, just didn't know what the hell they were doing. So we get to the top deck, we're sitting there, we're having a good time, and literally, like, out of nowhere, this big guy, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, he's like maybe 6'2", maybe like about 220 pounds. This big guy, so they had these little lounge chairs, me and my friend, hey Bree, we were sitting on these lounge chairs. Like I said, it was like real cute, it was calm, it was just amazing. And they literally called, I heard when they called on the speaker for the birthday party group to come upstairs to take photos. Obviously, like I said, that was the best scene, so that was the perfect place to take pictures. So they all came upstairs, and I'm like, we left downstairs, we left most of the drunk people down there, and I'm like, oh, finally we have, like, it wasn't as many people upstairs. So I'm like, finally we're gonna be able to enjoy ourselves, but just without people just being all over the place, because they were literally acting like they'd never been on a boat before. So we get up there and I'm happy and everything, and all of a sudden the whole party comes upstairs to take photos. I'm like, okay, they're probably only gonna be there for a certain amount of time, so eventually they'll probably go downstairs or whatever. We're sitting there minding our own business. First of all, there's a fight happening behind us, which I didn't even really pay mind to. My friend, she was like, I guess, really into it, because when we first got up there, they were the ones who were already on the top deck, and they looked like they were having a good time. All of a sudden, they looked like they were friends, and all of a sudden, the whole vibe thing of them having a good time turned into them wanting to fight each other. And I'm just like, what is going on over here? I swear to God, when alcohol is involved, like, majority of people don't know how to act. It's just so sad. But so that was happening in the back. I'm freaking ignoring them. Somebody's eyelash came off. One of the girls asked my best friend if she had eyelash glue, which, by the way, I had eyelash glue the entire time, but obviously, like I said, I wasn't paying attention to what was happening back there. So that was happening. Now comes this party of people to take photos, and this big guy, remember the big guy I was describing before, out of nowhere, this guy falls on me and my best friend. Like, literally tumbles over on top of us, knocks her glasses off of her face. Like, thank God I didn't have a drink or anything. I was like, immediately, I was like heated. I was super heated, because you just have to understand how things just boiled up. From being downstairs, from people just being annoying, to coming up here, and now somebody's, like, a grown-ass man is falling on us. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on? I think that was the last straw for me. I was just ready to go at that point. I think half an hour after this happened, they finally decided, you know, that they finally said that we needed to clear the top deck, go downstairs, because we were basically going back to the dock. Boat ride, you know, practically is done. But listen, as beautiful as the time we had up there was, I was ready to go. Okay, because if you know me, I can't tolerate just plain stupidity, and just, like, it was just too much. It was too much. I'm like, yo, why can't we just come out and have a good time and nothing crazy happens? And the nerve of this guy, after he falls on the floor, flat down on the floor, on his back, okay, he has the nerve to look at all the other people that were there with him, like, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up. Yo, how about you pick yourself up? Like, oh my God, like, if you should see how you look right now, like, you look fucking ridiculous. Pick yourself up. Like, you a grown-ass man over here, don't know how to handle your liquor, and then you yelling at everybody like they're the ones who made you fall. No, you made yourself fall. That drink you had, you were not supposed to have. Like, ridiculous. So anyway, let's fast forward. We clear out. We go to the bottom. Your girl was vlogging, everything like that. I have a reel on my Instagram. So we clear out. We leave. We obviously took Ubers to come. It was me, my mother-in-law, her brother, my best friend, and me. So when we're leaving, they're not really too savvy with Uber or anything like that. So I already knew I was the designated person to call their Uber, so they would get where they were going. And then me and my best friend would take another Uber. So when I called an Uber for them, the first Uber I called, we were at a dock. So I guess there was a highway next to it. So there wasn't like a designated pickup place. When you came into the dock, there was parking. But if you're not going there to park, like, you can't really stand there. Like, you can't really pull in. You could pull in a car and pick up people, but I think nobody really like Ubers, they wouldn't go into that dark area. And then on top of that, they're on a highway, so there's really nowhere for them to stop. So it was just frustrating because the first Uber, she passed the area. I had a whole fucking argument with her because she thought she knew what the hell she was doing. And like I said, it was a buildup. I was already annoyed about a lot of things that had already happened, and now I have to get into this with the Uber. So the first Uber, that didn't work. I had to call a second Uber. While we're calling the second Uber, pay attention. While we're calling the second Uber, there is a wheelchair accessible SUV that was just standing right there. A lot of people were getting picked up. I thought he was picking up a particular person. But when we called the second Uber, my mother-in-law's brother was looking at the license plate. He thought that car was their car. So he's like, wait, is that it? So obviously I'm, checking the license plate on the app. It didn't match. So I was like, no, that's not it. The car drove off. Finally, the second one comes. They get in, so while I was calling their Uber, my best friend was calling our Uber. Our driver was another fucking pain in the ass, saying that, he doesn't see us, blasey. So I'm like, okay. I took the phone from her after my mother-in-law and her brother left, and I'm like, okay, let me put BP gas station. So that way, it's a place that you can't miss. You can see a freaking gas station. So I told the driver to meet us at the BP gas station. So we walk to the BP gas station. So we get to the BP gas station. My mother-in-law and her brother already left. So we waiting for our car. So I'm just waiting. I'm looking at the type of car. I'm looking at the license plate. There's a picture of the driver. I'm like, okay, we're waiting. So all of a sudden, my best friend, we're standing there. We're like, okay, it says the Uber's here. We don't see the... So she starts getting mad. She's Jamaican. She starts talking in Jamaican. When she gets mad, forget it. It's over. You can't understand what she's saying. So she's pissed off. She's like, I don't understand. Where are they at? Like, we've been waiting here, whatever. I said, Brian, relax. So all of a sudden, at the gas station, there's a car. So I see the car. So she's like, I don't understand. Where's our driver? So all of a sudden, a car pulls up out of nowhere. And the driver's like, I'm right here. So I was a little confused because I'm like, where the hell did that car come from? Because I saw the person at the gas pump the entire time. I saw the car sort of back there. I couldn't really tell you what car it was. I wasn't paying attention that much. But I was just like, where the hell did he come from? So first thing I do, listen, girls. First thing I do, I check the license plate. Tell me why the license plate didn't match. So I'm looking at it. The picture of the driver is right. The license plate doesn't match. But the license plate doesn't match, but it's the right driver. So my best friend, she wasn't drunk. She only had like 1 or 2 drinks, which she said were watered down. But she gets in the car because we already frustrated. We've been sitting there all this time. So finally, when the car pulls up and the driver's like, oh, I'm right here. She looks at her app because we called the Uber from her phone. We look at the app and she gets in the car and she's looking at his GPS and it says Sabrina. It says her name. So she's like, this is the car. So she sits down in the seat. I'm like, Breen, hold on. Let me check the license plate. Let me make sure. But she's tired. So she's sitting in there. The freaking automatic doors for the SUVs open. I keep just going back and forth. For a second, I thought I was bugging. Because I'm like, okay, maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me, but just keep in mind, your girl didn't drink. Like, I did not drink. Actually, I had 1 drink, but that was it. But I'm just like, wait, am I really seeing things, or is this plate really not matching? Like, it doesn't make sense, because the driver's picture is right. The car is a different car, and the license plate is a different license plate. So, the driver's sitting in the front. His window is up. He's looking at me do this, going back and forth. I'm going to the back of the car, looking at my app. Going to the back of the car, looking at my app. And he's just there, not saying anything. And my best friend the entire time keeps telling me, no, this is it. I'm like, Sabrina, the license plate does not match. I do not get in any Uber if the license plate does not match. Like, listen, I understand how this app works very well. I've been using it since it came out, okay? And I'm sorry, but nowadays there's too much shit that be happening. I'm not taking the chance, okay? So immediately when I say that, the driver pulls down his window and he says, oh, well, if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine with me. He's like, oh, I had a situation. I had to change cars. Okay, that's your problem. But I'm pretty sure that you know, as a driver, that you need to adhere to Uber's rules, which include the car that you have on the app has to be the car that you're picking up passengers in. So I'm sorry if something happened to your vehicle and you had to switch your car and you still decided to work. That's not how this is supposed to work. Your car does not work, you don't get to work. Plain and simple. Okay? I don't know who you are. You can be a murderer for all I care. That shit was really, really sus to me, first of all. Okay? And very strange that you had a completely different car and a completely different license plate. On top of that, here's the kicker, guys. This SUV was the same wheelchair accessible car that I saw half an hour earlier when I was calling the first Uber for my mother-in-law.
What? What the fuck?
You guys remember when I said that there was a wheelchair accessible car that was just standing there that I thought was picking up someone, that my mother-in-law's brother thought was our car at one point, and I said, no, that's not our car, and the car drove off. So literally after he drove off, you went to the gas station, drove to the gas station, you were at the last pump, which everything clicked to me afterwards. You were at the last pump, which was super dark back there, which is why we didn't even see him back there, which is why when he pulled up, he literally came out of nowhere. So you were just lingering there, just chilling, just waiting, and you just happened to be... And it makes sense. He probably wasn't. I still don't understand. I'm a little confused. Because he was our driver, but the car was not the right car. But since he was in the area, it makes sense that he was able to probably accept the ride. That's just super creepy. That is super creepy to me, because you were just lingering back there. You pulled up. You expected us to get into that car. You really thought that this girl right here was going to be stupid enough to get in this car with you
Oh, hell no!
knowing that your license plate was a completely different license plate than what showed on the app? Let me tell you something. I made my best friend get out of that car so goddamn fast. Sabrina, get out the car. Get out of the car. Because right there in that moment, I just saw so much shit flash before me. Because God forbid he would have closed the door. Because I'm outside of the car. She's sitting in the car. Like, the only thing separating us is the door. Like, God forbid he would have closed the door. I would have had to fight. I just pictured in my head that I would have had to fight to get her out of there. Like, imagine he would have put like the slam lock on the door and drove off. God forbid. Like, just so many things crossed my mind at that moment when I really realized that I knew what the fuck I was talking about. You guys will not believe how fast I made her get out of that car. Seriously. And then what made it even worse was after she got out the car, he reversed. He reversed back to that little dark area by the gas station, and I don't know where the fuck the car disappeared to.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
So you just really, like, you really confirmed my suspicions, because why not drive forward where you can literally go out at the gas station that way? You can exit that way. You reversed? That's weird. And he drove out of there so fast after I'm like, Sabrina, after I told her to get out the car. and he closed the doors and everything, I was just like, yo, what if he was like a trafficker, like a human trafficker? Like, it's just crazy. It's so much crazy shit happening now in the world, and I had to give her a whole lecture after this. If she's watching, I know she's laughing, because I had to give her a whole lecture, like, please don't you ever get into a car again if the license plate doesn't match. Please don't do this again, because this really, really could have ended badly. And like, I don't know how many times I have to say this, to like really check your Ubers. Like, it's so important. Like, I'm not saying things happen to guys too, but for us females, it's just 100 times worse. Like, check the license plate for your Ubers. Check everything. Look at the driver's picture. Look at the license plate. Look at the car. Put your PIN number on your app as well. I mentioned this in another video. It's just another security measure, because this driver cannot pull off, or he cannot see where you're going unless you give him the PIN number. That will confirm the ride. That will make sure he has the same person. If you give him a PIN number and the PIN number is wrong, he won't see your destination. It will not approve it. Like, do this, because this protects us, and it's super, super important. But after that happened, obviously we had to call another Uber, and I was a little on high alert, but that driver was way nicer. He actually worked with us on the phone. I called, you know, to speak to him, because obviously I knew the issue that all the other drivers had getting here. So I made sure that I communicated with him, you know, where we were and all of that. Of course, I checked everything, car, license plate, the driver, everything, confirmed everything. And also, I took my best friend's phone. Actually, the entire video I've been saying Uber, and this was actually Lyft. This was Lyft. It wasn't Uber. It's another reason why I don't travel with Lyft, because I just don't like Lyft. They're so weird to me. I just don't like them. But I took her phone and I reported the ride. Do you know how fast, when I reported that and I wrote the description of what happened, do you know how fast somebody wrote back to me explaining that, basically responding, saying that I did the right thing by not getting in the car, and do I remember the driver? And thank God, when we called the ride, you know, even though he I'm trying to remember whether we canceled or he canceled. Either way, we were still able to see the ride in her ride history. I was able to screenshot everything, and it had the driver's photo, it had the car, the license plate that he said he was using. I wish I would have got the license plate that I saw, took a picture of it when I was like basically doubting everything, but in that moment I wasn't thinking about that. But I definitely reported it, because God forbid he tried to pick up somebody else, and I just wanted to make sure that nobody, like, he didn't attempt to do that again. So if something like this happens to you, make sure you report it. This is how things get better. We have to look out for each other, you know. And I definitely reported it, and I made sure I did it, because if I would have told my best friend to do it, she probably would have forgot. And no, I'd be too on point. Like, I had to make sure I reported this. But that was so scary, so scary, that it was just crazy to me. Like, I came home at 6 in the morning, and I had to wake up my husband to tell him the story, because I just couldn't believe. And I called my mother-in-law, told her as well. I'm like, yo, you'll never believe what just happened, because that was just crazy. These are the things that happen, that you don't make it back home to your friends, to your family. And no, not this girl, not I. No, I am way too on point for that, okay? So make sure you guys stay alert out there. Be on the lookout. Always, always, always take all the measures you need to make sure you are safe, okay? Because too many things are happening nowadays, and you can't take any chances. But anyway, guys, this is the end of the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. And let your girl know what you thought of today's story time. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Had we called from my phone, this would have never happened, but we called from my best friend's phone, so she only uses Lyft. I'm pretty sure she stopped after this situation. But Anyway, guys, it's getting hot in the car. The AC, none of that is on. So that's the end of the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Chrisyslane. I also have Facebook, Chrisyslane as well. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed to your girl's channel. If you enjoyed today's story time and you want to see more story times like this, because your girl, listen, I'll be giving the story times, okay? But obviously my channel has a lot more other content, you know, makeup reviews, all of that good stuff. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet. I appreciate you guys so much, as always, for always watching. And yeah, I will see you guys on my next video. Oh my god, my face is just giving skin. Yes, we're giving skin over here. Oh my god.
Long time is over you.